Hey, Hello, Noble Rick here. Today I want to make a mold of baby Night Pearl's face. I plugged in his eyes with some clay so that I wouldn't get those little dimples because his eyes are beads. And I didn't want it to be, I wanted it to be a smooth eye all the way across. And I'm going to use polymer clay to make the mold. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Make it smooth. Polymer clay is bad for picking up stuff and constantly getting debris out of it, and I don't know where it comes from. So needless to say, you should wash your hands before using polymer clay, and which I thought I had done. But I'm going to use polymer clay, and but it's something I want to mention too. I noticed a YouTuber was comparing polymer clay to the air clay. My previous videos recently were of air clay figurines, so I'm new at air clay figurines. I'm making this into a point so that I can get all the details better. I'm going to go under his nose. But polymer clay and air dry clay are two separate worlds almost. They are both clays, but they are both, I'm trying to be gentle here. Probably should have sprayed his face with some water, but it doesn't seem to be sticking too badly. I'm afraid also that I'm going to be breaking his face. So maybe I need to have a smaller volume of clay here. But air dry clay. Previously, a YouTuber had done a comparison of air dry clay and polymer clay, which is what this is. And recently, I've been using air dry clay, and I'm new at air dry clay myself. I'm more familiar with polymer clay. But that YouTuber had compared them, I thought, unfairly. For one thing, the volume is what you should be looking at when you're pricing them. I think you will find that air dry clay is cheaper than this stuff here, the polymer clay. This stuff is good. They're both, I think it's, comparing the two is like apples and oranges. Air dry clay is good for some things, and polymer clay are good for other things. I would encourage you to play with both. I think you will find air dry clay to actually be cheaper than what the YouTuber had said. She thought that this is cheaper, polymer clay. But I think she was looking at weight, not volume. You should be considering volume. You'll get more substance, more volume out of air dry clay, the other clay, than you would this clay for the price. So I think you'll find air dry clay cheaper, and do experiment with it. YouTubers who do air dry clay. There was NianClay, I recall. So I may put a link of her in the description. And there was another, probably more famous, more popular, is Lovely For You. So I'd like to put that in the description for you as well. Alright, so let's make this a little, this clay, for some reason I've conditioned it with baby oil, and it is still stiff as all get out. Nope, not baby oil. Baby oil is going to make it stick to the figure, maybe, I don't know. But I think more likely I should be using H2O. Is that paint? Acrylic paint there. So I'm going to mist his face. I'm moving this kind of far away from his face so I get the tiny mist. Excuse me. Yeah, air dry clay, apples and oranges, air dry clay and polymer clay. They're both good. They're both good in different ways. So please experiment with them. Please do get some air dry clay. I think you'll find it cheaper. You may have trouble getting the colors you want, I don't know. I have been starting with white and had recently purchased some in colors, but I think they're very bright colors, so that might be a little tricky making something with them, with the colors that I might like to have. Maybe you can mix them. I get the impression their air dry clay is more often than not pastel. Just trying to get a bullet shape here and not break my baby's face. Putting a little bit of pressure. I'm trying to be careful not to damage the baby face. Trying to be careful not to damage the figurine. I've also cut the AC off, which is making my hands sweaty. Of course, I also sprayed some spray too, making things wet here. Reason being is water will keep the figurine from keep the clay from sticking to the figurine here. I want to try to get it as far around this face as possible, but I like to have some girth right here. I'm afraid I'm making it too thin, so I might have to experiment with this beyond the video here. But it's something I wanted to say. I thought that recent YouTuber was a little inaccurate and unfair with her portrayal, not portrayal, but rather her assessment of air dry clay. So take a look at some other, there's a lot of YouTubers who do polymer clay, this stuff right here, and there's other YouTubers who do air dry clay as well. So take a look at both. I think you'll find air dry clay to be cheaper on your wallet to use air dry clay. And I'll just be peeling this off gently. Dry my hands on my shirt. Not a good idea because my shirt is navy blue, and that will show up in this clay. Those little strings from my shirt will show up on this clay. And I'm speaking from experience. Well, there we are. He fell off on his own. Got a little bit of his hand on the bottom there. I think that's a good mold, so I might go ahead and fire this, so to speak, or rather bake it in the baking oven at the recommended temperatures for your package of polymer clay. So yeah, get yourself some polymer clay. It's a little more expensive than air dry clay. Get yourself some air dry clay probably to start with, and almost like a simulator in a sense. Get you some cheap clay, mess up a few times with the cheap clay, and then as you get better, get some more expensive clay. I like them both. I want you to not spend any more money than you have to. So you might want to start with the air dry clay. You might fall in love with the air dry clay and want to stick there. But I would encourage you to do both, air dry clay and polymer clay. And here I've used the polymer clay to make the mold. Might need to blunt that in case someone puts right out with it. I'm thinking about selling these. Let me know if you're interested in that concept of actually buying one of these to make your baby face out of polymer clay, or maybe even other clay. Alright, so thanks for watching, and yeah, get yourself some air dry clay, some cheap air dry clay. There may be some more expensive versions out there too. Oh, and watch Love These For You. She makes some really cool stuff. Alright, thanks for watching.